Chuck?
Yeah,
Hey.
super.
Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you and I can hear you fine.
Perfect. So thanks again for the invitation. I'm looking forward. So everything seems to be running perfectly.
Yeah. And I again, I don't want to steal our own thunder, is the saying. I don't want to get into this great conversation now. We need to save that.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for sending an extra board, which I'm at this. Are you have you heard of the conference that I mentioned, the HIMSS?
Yeah, it joins several thousands of people, and even this year, I haven't looked at the edition, but the panelists and the speakers and it's really high level people. So it's really a privilege for us to have someone like you represent Bitalino and spreading the word about the things we're doing.
Sure, yeah, and it's funny. This is very international. Last week, did you see the link I sent you with the interview with the fellow from Italy about microservices? Yeah, so it really is a small world.
Exactly. I mean, people working in this area. I mean, the world is a big place, but you don't have that many people with deep skills, and so that's something that always brings us together from different parts of the world, I think. And so it's also quite interesting that you managed to get the first makerspace into the conference. So are you just putting there like Bitalino, Arduino, and all those platforms? Or are you taking also 3D printers and 3D printing and
I'll have. Let's see. I mean, normally HIMSS is basically the largest trade association representing health information technology in the United States, and so they have these presentations are to get people to attend and to learn and to network, and then the exhibit floor is at like 1 million square feet.
Wow!
Like 1,500 exhibitors. And everything from laboratory information systems to electronic health records. And also there are medical device folks. Last year they did have a 3D printing row, but I think they only had one company. It was Konica Minolta is doing some interesting things in 3D printing. So I have so they have different. So the reason now normally they charge for booths. I don't know, $5,000-$10,000 for a booth. I'm very active in health information technology, social media. I'm kind of like Dr. Workflow. I'm an industrial engineer who went to medical school, but I'm also very interested in the maker movement because I actually see a connection. People creating their own stuff is empowering and obviously patients and so forth. There's that connection. I'd love to get some health IT patients, because there you got a nice combination. They may already know how they may be diabetic or have had a kidney transplant or some condition, epilepsy, but they're also technical. And so I'd love to get them, to come to the Makerspace booth, which is, I think it's 9 foot wide and 10 foot deep. And there's a table that is 4 foot by 4 foot. And right now I think I'm going to have 1 or 2 3D printers, a laser cutter engraver, which I probably won't run. But and then I probably got several shoeboxes full of boards. Everything from a variety of the Arduino and Nano and Micro. But also things like particle and spark core and stuff that's connected. And I also for people who aren't into soldering or programming, I actually have a complete set of little bits.
I know. That's really nice.
Yeah, I do. I have I think I've got like $1,000 worth of little bits. I mean, that's 60 or 70 of them. And anybody can put those together, and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah. So, and I'm hoping, and and the reason that I think I got the booth, is I'm what's called a social media ambassador. So and because I've tweeted a lot about this stuff, the trade association, although I am not an employee of them, is interested in using social media to amplify its voice and create content and get people maybe who aren't at the conference involved. At least they watch the tweets go by and so forth. Yeah, and I'll subscribe to your channel here in a moment.
I haven't created one yet. Sorry.
Oh, well, you said. Oh, okay. Well, you subscribe to mine, but yeah, create a Bitalino.
Yeah, that's it. I'll have to do that.
Because then what will happen is if you, for example, now I think you have to pay like $15. It used to be it was free on Bitalino, but not Bitalino on Firetalk, but you can schedule events.
Okay.
And then when the event is scheduled, and then when it goes live, people get notifications. So if you follow someone, and then also the links can be tweeted out, which is great for getting people who might not otherwise know of it or to show up. Anyway, but I want to finish though with saying that so I have a little robot that I build that's for pediatricians to entertain kids. So there's so it kind of combines the maker world and the healthcare world.
Yeah.
But the Bitalino board really does have a very nice fit between kind of the maker side of this maker space and the fact that it's at a health IT conference.
Thanks a lot.
So
I think it's
thank you so much.
And also thanks for considering us. I mean, for us it's a privilege to be associated with your initiative, as I mentioned, and I mean, it's really something that we do with a great honor and with a great privilege to send you the board.
And your sound is breaking up. Your sound is breaking up. Oh, it just improved. Okay. Yeah. So actually, what I was thinking about is I emailed to you, and we can. What I emailed you is I think before the conference and during the conference, I'll tweet out that that this board is going to be given away, and since I have my own board, people can come and we can work on stuff together.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking if someone actually were, I don't know that this will happen. Because there's a lot of competition, but the exhibit hall is actually open 10 hours a day for like 3 days, and then 6 hours. And so, if anybody wanted to show up and actually spend 36 hours, and actually build something, actually they have an idea, a prototype, and at the end they would be the person who logically ought to get a board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good criteria.
And at the very least, if whoever has the best idea for what they would do with it, and so as to separate responsibilities and conflict of interest, I'd probably let you decide from the tweeted proposals.
Okay.
That's kind of the plan. Okay. Well, it sounds like we were all set, and what I will do is I will create a kind of an 80-character description, and I will schedule it for the time, and I'll send you the link.
Thanks.
And basically, you just come back to wareflow.com, firetalk.com/wareflow. You'll get a notification, but show up 5-10 minutes before, and we'll double check.
No problem there. I've also sent you an invite for a Google Calendar event so that we are in sync regarding the time, and so
and it worked out.
Yeah, so I think 9 a.m. there should be 2 p.m. here, which was the time I scheduled. But if it didn't appear correctly in your end, let me know and I'll adjust the time.
It's there. Now, notice that my channel is actually called Health Information Technology, Social Media, and Miniature Schnauzers. So this is
oh, that's amazing. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
This is Jets, like the airplane.
Well,
because she flies around.
Really.
Okay. Thank you very much, and let's touch base a couple times in email or via Twitter or whatever, and then the morning of
the Thursday.
we will get back together. And I'm also going to kind of try to get. I think for the Italian about microservices, I think we had like 19 viewers.
Okay.
I've had as many as 30 viewers. And the thing is even if just a couple people show up, it doesn't. If the conversation is good, it can be reused. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I've seen that it's recorded also in the channel, right? So it's something that we can even share and stuff. So that's perfectly fine. So feel completely at ease, and from our side, we will do our best to collaborate and also to help your initiative. Okay?
Well, between now and then, if I think of some good questions, interview questions, or if you think of, boy, I'd really love for you to ask me XYZ. I mean, that's great because. I have a feeling that we're not going to have any trouble coming up with things to talk about. But it does help sometimes to have that outline beforehand, just to
Yeah.
be organized.
Yeah, I can also share some things. I mean, there's always the classics like what was the motivation? How did Bitalino came up?
Right.
How many users does it has now? Some
Right.
what are the projects that people have done with it? So there are some of these classical questions. I can send you a summary over email and
Okay.
take it from there. Okay.
Thank you so much. And you, by the way, that was you mentioned sending along some stuff with the board, such as a discount, whatever brochures. Feel free to do that.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfect. So we'll definitely do that. Nice meeting you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.